This is Prince Nana on the line. What happened, guys? What happened to the Skype call?
Technology, Prince Nana. Technology is not being very favorable during the quarantine.
I had all of my assistants that had me all brushed up, all right? I had the camera set up, all right, because I wanted to come on here and show off, all right? Show off a little bit. My bushy beard, all right, is growing out, all right? I wanted to show it off. But, hey, things happen, all right? When you have an Obama phone, all right, when you guys have an Obama phone and Obama-type cameras, this is what happens.
The assistants, is it like Coming to America? Do they clean the royal penis?
They absolutely do, all right? But it's only females only, all right? Females only, because I know in Arkansas things are a little bit, they're different there, which is a good thing too, all right? There's all-inclusiveness.
Well, I'm just happy to hear that you're getting treated like a true prince.
Absolutely. It's good to be on the show. It's the next time, make sure you have a good connection, because I want to see your face, and I want to see the faces of all of those people that be following your show. I heard you have about a good 10 followers a week on your show.
With you on it, we might be up to 20.
Oh, that's a blessing. That is a true blessing, my friend.
And you will be the first person that's ever said they wanted to see our faces, because nobody wants to see what we look like.
Really? Oh, my God. Now I'm very much more intrigued. All right? I'm intrigued to find out, all right, what's going on with you guys. All right? There's something going on. You guys, I'm going to get down to the bottom of it.
Well, the quarantine is not... I look like a Wookiee. I got a very gross beard. My hair is all over the place. I'm a little portly, I might say. I'm a little fat guy, so...
They didn't open the barber shops over there by you yet? The beauty salons and the barber shops?
I am the complete opposite of beauty, so no.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't apply to you. I get it, my friend.
Look, we can't all be princes, okay? I don't get the royal treatment. I get like...
Hey, you know what? You're the prime minister, all right? You look like the prime minister. Let's say it like that, all right? Boris, the guy that's there, you remind me of him. Let's just say it like that.
No, everybody fucking hates that guy.
Hey, you said you're not like a prince. So if you can't be a prince, you have to be the prime minister. And the prime minister is the Boris guy. That's what you look like.
Can I be the jester?
The gesture, huh? They don't have gestures for many, many years, all right? But if you want to be a gesture, we can make that for you. We can make you into a gesture. It's not a problem, all right? But you're going to have to clip your co-host's nails. Not my nails, but his nails, all right? Because he's going to be hanging out and chilling out with, what's your name? The guy that's giggling in the background. What's your name?
Which one? There's two of them. There's Tony and Kevin. I ain't clipping Tony's toenails.
There's two people giggling in the background. What are they doing?
I'm sorry. I'm just mesmerized by the awesomeness that is Prince Nana.
I only hear one guy talking, and then the two other guys are giggling. All right, maybe they should have the gesture jobs, huh? So tell me your names. One guy, what's your name?
This is Tony, Prince Nana. A pleasure to speak to royalty on a Monday evening.
Tony, how are you doing? All right, Tony.
I'm doing as well as anybody can be.
And what's the other guy's name that's giggling?
Hello, Prince. This is Kevin.
Kevin, why do you sound like you're under a blanket?
Because I'm terrified right now.
Okay, I see. All right, don't worry. All right, don't worry. I'm on the phone. I'm not in your face. All right. I know it's like some black people, we can be intimidating sometimes. All right, but I'm on the phone right now. No, I'm just kidding, my friend.
Hey, Prince. It's 2020. I'm not putting anything past anybody.
Hey, I don't put anything past anybody either. You guys can be aliens, for all I know. You know the way things are going. I don't know.
There have been sightings of aliens lately. So.
My God.
What else will 2020 bring us?
Our government's been lying to us all this time. First the corona.
That's why I've been drinking more Henny. I've been drinking a lot more Henny because they keep saying that there's something falling from the sky. So before that, I'm trying to just educate all of the wrestling fans that, that they can become wrestlers before that happens.
So Prince, if there was to be an alien invasion, would you share your Henny with the extraterrestrials?
I probably would, because they would be then a little bit sedated. All right, they would be a little sedated. This way, afterward, I can just maybe kind of slid out of bed and try to head over to Antarctica, where I'd rather die there than in a space shuttle. All right, I'd rather die in Antarctica.
Wow, I get up to go to the bathroom, and I come back, and you guys are talking about aliens. Is this a preview of what is possibly on the table for...
Did this guy just tell me he went to go to the bathroom? Oh, my God. Is this... What the heck is this thing that I'm on over here? How far is the bathroom camp is in... You guys are recording in the bathroom?
No,
How
we're not.
sickening is this?
The bathroom's right next to
Come
me.
on. Get to the questions. This is so disgusting.
I am a lower class human being. My bathroom's in the same room as my studio. We all can't be princes.
Okay, like I said, you are going to be Boris, whatever his name is, the Prime Minister.
I am the Prime Minister.
Right?
So all this crazy alien talk, is this a preview of what can be found in the book that you are working on right now, that you have a GoFundMe going up about, Embassy Forever,
Yes.
a pro wrestling memoir? Is this just a teaser of some of the stories that Prince Nana has acquired during his 20-plus years in the wrestling business?
Yes, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right, there's definitely no alien sightings, but there's definitely some J-Train sightings. All right, and that is pretty scary. All right, Julius Smokes. All right, the sightings that I'm going to be talking about him in my book are very, very scary, my friend. All right, but outside of that, the book is going to be definitely indulgent. People are going to really dig in to what happened behind the scenes over the years from when I started in the WWE, doing some of the dark matches and the enhancement matches, to ROH, to right now, to the height of AEW, Impact, everything. We're going to talk about it all. All right, and I might even talk about you guys now, since you guys, the book isn't out, so now I can talk about you guys. You all became my professional nail clippers in the West Wing of the Ghanaian castle over there in Accra.
All right, I'll do the hands. Tony can do the feet because he's got a thing for feet.
I got no problem.
Oh wow, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. All
Kevin,
right?
Kevin could rub your shoulders for you.
No, I'm good. He can do that for you, but not for me, all right? I'm all right, my friend, all right? The shoulders, they're fine right now, all right?
Do you need some, do you need what they call the manscaping? Because Kevin be happy to give you a trim.
Manscaping?
Yes.
No, I don't know what is that. Is that something like when you're doing the side of the house or something?
Yes.
No, that's where you trim your crotchal area.
Oh no, my friend, no. You guys can save that for when I get off the phone. All right, when I get off the line. Thank God I didn't go on Skype with you guys. All right, if I went on Skype, forget it. I would have thrown up all of the peanut butter soup I ate this afternoon for lunch. All right, it's disgusting, you guys. All right, don't do that.
You and me both. I'm actually throwing up right now. Just with the thought of it.
What are you throwing up? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh, always. Always, man. Crunchy peanut butter. It's actually a hard food to throw up because
Make sure you did every single one of you guys. I know one of you guys, I think one of you just now, thank you just now. So I think it was one guy that sent over the GoFundMe. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys all are putting into the GoFundMe, all right? All right, you can find it on my Twitter page. You can find it on my Instagram, all right? And GoFundMe, all right, I know a lot of people go on to that thing and a lot of people are using it for, financial situations, like they lost their parent or they lost this and that, That's not what I'm using it for, all right? I'm using it because I also have other pages, all right, where people have subscriptions. But sometimes people just want to make a one-time donation, all right? So GoFundMe is the best place for them to make a one-time donation. I don't want to be giving out my Cash App. All right, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we definitely want to support that. But just to give the people that might want to chip in for this GoFundMe, what could they expect in terms of the main goal of this book? What is the main objective you want to get across to the people that would be interested in reading it?
You know, the history of Prince Nana Perry, all right, of Prince Nana and the embassy. You know, it's basically a story that needs to be told. And I've been in the business for 26 years, all right, and I've never been the one to boast and brag, all right. I'm the person who gets on the line, gets in front of the camera, and I do what I do best, all right. I don't know if that's entertaining. I don't know if that's acting. I don't know if that's I don't know what it is, but when I get on the line or when I get in front of the camera or when I go in front of the crowd, you know, it's time to put my all into it. This is exactly what I'm going to do with the book also. It's the journeys, all right? You know, it's the journeys, it's the tears, all right? It's the blood, sweat, and tears. It's the story of someone who never fully made it to the WWE, if you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, a lot of the times when people are coming out with a book, you know, they're coming out with a book because they made it to, you know, New Japan. Coming out with a book because they made it to WWE, to Impact. You know, I am just an independent superstar for almost 26 years. Yes, I also was, you know, one of the founding wrestlers and performers with Ring of Honor in the beginning, you know, in the beginning phases of that company. And I stuck with that company for many, many, many years and helped build it all the way up into the whole Cody Rhodes era when he was there until the time he left. I was a part of the growth of that company, and I'm proud of where they are now. You know, so I want to talk about that and talk about, you know, also the, you know, racial inequality in professional wrestling also. You know, when I was first coming into the business, I was very naive. You know, I really didn't think about, you know, black and white and this and that. You know, I had a pretty, you know, rounded, you know, childhood where I was, you know, mixed with a whole bunch of different people, black, white, Chinese. You know, I went to a sleepaway camp upstate New York, Camp Dudley, where there was all types of people, you know, white, black, Chinese. You know, we were all coming from great families and backgrounds, coming in the summertime to, you know, just, you know, whatever. So it wasn't like, you know, what I was expecting years later. All right, and I'm talking years later, after I did my whole WWE, you know, appearances and stuff, where you really start to get on the road and you start to see people often and they see you, you know, you see people going up the ladder, you see people coming down the ladder, and there's just a lot of, disappointment that goes with that. But along with the disappointment, there's a lot of triumph, and I just want to, you know, talk to the common man or the common person who is interested in how this industry works for someone like me and for someone like them.
All right. So you mentioned, I was going to ask a different question, but you kind of triggered my brain cells here in terms of that whole racial inequality in professional wrestling. I could just kind of tell a little bit by what you just said that you feel. And again, if I'm assuming, I'm putting words in your mouth, please correct me. I'm assuming that you feel that there is some sort of racial inequality in professional wrestling, and I think it's more prevalent than people want to realize. Is that something that you've been trying to be made known over the years, or is that something that you're just going to wait for this book to hit and you're going to drop everything right then and there? Because I'm not going to lie to you, to me, I feel like there is something to that. Just when you put in the amount, and I'm rambling, the amount of like world champions that there's been in this business, the number is staggering to how many people of African American descent have been world champions compared to whites. And to me, that it's too blatant of a fact to ignore. Is that something that you've felt for a while, or are you going to just drop this all in the book?
A lot of people know that I try not to be too political in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Because professional wrestling is supposed to be fun. All right, it really is. It's something like the circus. All right, but one thing that we all have to understand also is that professional wrestling and the circus is a business, okay? And the circus went out of business, okay? And the wrestling business can go out of business too if people don't play their cards the right way, But with what you're saying, I've never really wanted to be the political person because there's so many great, great African American, African superstars, right now. And I'm not talking about in WWE and stuff like that. We know about Kofi, we know about Lashley and all these guys. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the guys on the lower levels. We have the, Jay Lethers and the Moose and this and that and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And these guys, and ACH and so on and so, and these guys are, and Kenny King, these guys are constantly, always, Shane Taylor, always, promoting the fact for movement in the industry for there to be a change in the way that, things are run. And I'm with everybody on that. You know what I mean? I'm with everybody on that. And I really feel, and this is just me, but I really feel it's going to be hard to change that type of outlook unless one of the two things happen, okay? And that is obviously the union thing, all right, that everyone is talking about, oh, we should start a union and this and that. I think once the union is implemented, there's going to be a little bit more equality for everyone. And I'm not talking about black, because in the wrestling business, there's white people who are that are very talented not getting signed to deals and that are suffering right now, And at one point, they did a lot for the industry and they deserve something back for that, So if there was a union, I think that might be a change in the whole inequality thing, because there'll be more of an even playing field for people, But then outside of that, the other thing that would need to happen, guys, and I'm just going to be very blatant with you, it is, there needs to be a African American owner that is, or an owner of color that is in, business to go and compete with Vince McMahon. But one thing that I know about a company that's, I don't know this for a fact, but, I just know this just from just dealing with so many people, that a company that is probably going to be, spearheaded by an African American would be more open to being the wrestling company that, everybody is going to end up enjoying. I really do see that. But until that day happens, we just all gotta wait and watch and, see what's going on. I mean, we have AEW out there that's competing with Vince, but I really feel like not only does the African American need to be represented, on camera, they need to be represented in the executive boardrooms as well. So if that's not happening, it's going to be very hard to entice everybody to get involved. There's only going to be one type of, people that are going to be interested in this. If this is, the only thing that you know how to push, if you don't know how to change it up a little bit to bring other eyeballs into it, then hey, this is your business, do it the way you want to do it, and that's it. Until that day where there's, a new, person, they don't have to be black, they don't have to be white, just someone who is more open to not being like the way it was for the last 70 years, I think that's when the wrestling business is really going to be thriving.
And we're on the line with Prince Nana at Prince King Nana at Prince King Nana on.
I scared the hell out of you guys just now. All right, take it easy. All right, take it easy. I know I'm sounding like, you know, some preacher on the phone here. All right, but you're asking me some serious questions. I'm gonna give you some serious answers.
I was trying to plug your shit, Prince Nana.
I loved everything about what you just said in that answer. That answer was it was everything that I think people needed to hear. So I'll let Matt continue with the plugs you, because hey, listen, we're all in this to promote. So I'll let Matt continue with the plugs, and then we'll get back to maybe having some fun here. Matt, go ahead with the plugs.
Thank you, my friend.
No, I thought that was an excellent question and an excellent answer. I love the conversation, but I want to make sure people know if they are enjoying this interview, they're enjoying the Prince Nana. They can't find him. It's at Prince King Nana on Twitter and Instagram. And he's got the Prince Nana Show on YouTube. He's got a brand new episode, drops tomorrow, with Avery Mason, a.k.a. Big G, from Power on Stars. It's an original series that Curtis, I forget 50 Cent's last name, but it's 50 Cent produced. Curtis Jackson. But he's going to be on the Prince Nana Show tomorrow. That episode drops tomorrow, on YouTube. He's also recently talked to Angel from the Baldies for all my ECW fans out there. Definitely an interview worth checking out. And Nana is spreading the word. So again, at Prince King Nana. You mentioned a powerful black leader in the wrestling industry. Is there someone that you have in mind, or without giving too much away?
I like, again, I never want to be the starter of anything. Let me tell you something. I don't have anything. All right. I just have what I have for me. If I had an extra $2 million to play around with, forget it. I would have been already, competing with Vince. Okay. But that's just not the case. Okay, but as far as who I have in mind, obviously I would want to be involved. Okay, and without saying that I want to, I would do it and this and that. But there's quite a few people that I would, definitely probably, say could spearhead that. And one of them is Mark Henry. Mark Henry is one of those guys. Without me saying any more. Because I don't know exactly what, how he feels or so on and so forth or whatever. And don't get me wrong, if WWE was calling me right now for a contract, I would probably negotiate one. I would probably want to listen to what they have to say also. But once I actually get there, then they would know me and who I actually am. After they see me work. So it's really hard. Right now, I think like WWE and TNA and Impact and all these people, they go by what they've heard. You got to understand, I've been around for like 26 years. They go by what they heard. You understand what I'm saying? But like if anyone really knows me, they know I'm a shrewd businessman. I'm fair, and I try to make sure I help people. That's the main thing about me.
So it's seeing a trend nowadays where past professional wrestlers or past people that have been on TV in front of the camera have now been transitioning into roles as executives. How, and of course, you look at the Bucks and Cody and AEW, obviously Triple H and WWE on a larger scale, Delirious and Marty and Ring of Honor and stuff like this and that. What does it take for a professional wrestler to actually transition and become a successful executive behind the scenes?
Oh, I mean, again, like, and I've got to be honest. Like, I can't sit here and lie. There's a lot of ass kissing going on. All right, this is complete. There's a lot of ass kissing going on, and I'm not saying that certain guys that have those positions are ass kissing. All right, but what I'm saying is, there's a lot of friendships and stuff like that. And I think, it's based on what you have given to the business, what you have, basically sacrificed. And I noticed that a lot of guys that, probably don't have it like they used to. They used to do maybe a lot of crazy things in the ring, or maybe there was just a lot going on at one point with them. Normally those are the ones that end up getting the opportunity to work as a producer and so on and so forth. But if you're really looking to get into an executive type of role, one of the things that you need these days, is you need to have some sort of a degree. All right, you need to have some sort of like a bachelor's degree, let's say, or even an associate's degree inside of that field. Princeton, I went to college. I went to the College of Staten Island. In Staten Island, I have my associate's degree. I also have my communications degree also. So you would have to you don't necessarily need to have that now, okay? Because there's some executives that don't have it. So it's not really a concrete answer to that. But I think a lot of the times when you see someone who is an executive or a producer, it's because they really sacrifice themselves in the business, and it's a way of saying thank you because they have some knowledge to pass on to, a younger talent that might be asked to do something similar to what they've done. So yes, when someone is really good at what they do, they should be given that role as a producer or an executive or something like that. But again, like I said, for African Americans, that role, all right, is very few and far between. I was lucky enough to, and Ring of Honor is a great company. I was lucky enough to have a producer position there for maybe about a year and a half. All right, and until I drifted ways with Ring of Honor, but it was a good experience, and it was something that I was able to kind of use on my resume and so on and so forth, if you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And you talk about people being good at what they do. You would have to throw your hat into that ring when we talk about wrestling managers and leaders of stables. The Embassy and Ring of Honor, highly successful for many years, from 2004 to up until 2006. The Embassy was an ever-growing presence in Ring of Honor. Many different variations of the Embassy, but nonetheless, the Embassy was there. And, John Walters, Jimmy Rave, Alex Shelley, Abyss, going way back. You reincarnated the Embassy with Bison Smith and Ernie Osiris. And the name,
Mia Yim.
Yeah, Claudio, Joey Ryan, Eric Stevens, the Necro Butcher. Dominic Dijak, Tommaso Ciampa. It's Moose. A who's who.
Moose was
superstars.
Like in a different edition, but yeah, it's a lot of people, man.
Moose and Stokely, come on. What's your favorite version of the Embassy?
Wow, my favorite of all time is definitely Jimmy Rave's time when he was just becoming, the crown jewel of the Embassy. That was some of the greatest times in the Embassy. I'm telling you, my friend. I'm telling you, man. We were having steaks. We were seeing all great, beautiful women, all right? We were doing, flying from this town to that town. And I'm not just saying this as a storyline. I'm talking real life, my friend. All right? There's so many stories that, that I have with Jimmy, and I know, a lot of people are wondering, hey, what's going on with Jimmy and this and that? Hey, life is going on. This is life. I can never put another man down for what life throws at them. And that goes for me, too. Hey, I might be over here all jolly and stuff like that, but after I get off the phone, I have to go back to regular life. And that's the thing that people have to understand. I really treasure those moments. I really treasure those moments that I had with Jimmy, and I also really, really enjoyed my time with Tommaso. I really did. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really did, because it was a time where, I almost thought that, hey, is this it? And I was able to still do it and really, pair with somebody that, worked for me and I worked for them. You know what I mean? So, definitely it was the Jimmy Rave time, and definitely the Tommaso Ciampa time. I really, really enjoyed those 2 moments in the embassy. But there was many, many other times, many other, Xavier. Then you had, the Necro Butcher time. It was so many different moments that we had that I would really, really treasure, and so on and so forth. Bison Smith, rest in peace.
And there's going to be tons of embassy stories in the Embassy Forever Pro Wrestling Memoir, which if you want to donate to Nana's GoFundMe, it's GoFundMe.com, and then just throw in Embassy Forever. It's the first thing that pops up. I did it this afternoon.
That's right. That's right.
And I mean, like he said, 26 years in pro wrestling, he's got thousands of stories, and he's just going to give you
literally
a taste.
Thousands.
You're just going to get a taste in this book. But he needs a little help getting that book started. So if you have a couple shekels, throw them his way.
My boys.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, you mentioned your favorite times of the embassy. Let me ask you this: has there ever been someone that was just so like out of your realm of possibility to be a part of the embassy that ended up just working so well?
Let me think real quick. I'm thinking real quick. I would say that would probably end up. It would probably end up having to be. I don't. It was Necro. At the time. It's crazy. I know. At the time, we just needed something to transition into, because Tommaso came right after the whole thing with Necro, but we needed like a transitional type of period, and I think that actually it wasn't. I know who it was. I know who it was. It wasn't Necro. It was Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan. When they first put me with that guy, I was like, when I first, got the offer to work with him, I was like, what the hell is this? All right, this guy, he has his whole package is hanging out of his boxers. What is going on here? All right, I said, what is this? But we went out there once or twice, and I don't know if I think he had somewhat of a name back a little bit, but when I went out there with him and I was doing my little salsa dance when as he was coming out, it just went together well, and it just was perfect, and I think both of us gained some kind of popularity off of that at that time. But yeah, it was Joey Ryan. I almost forgot about him. Yes, it was Joey Ryan. He was the one. He was a perfect fit for the embassy at the time of when he came in as the hired gun.
Did Joey rocking that hitter? You have a big ding dong?
But I don't know if I would hire him now, because the ding dong is more popular than him. So I don't know. I like Joey Ryan, not the ding dong. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Could you hire just the ding dong?
No, I don't know. I never really inquired, and I wouldn't want to inquire about that. All right, because it's from what I hear, it's very powerful. And I don't want any problems. I already have my own powerful one. All right. So that's it. And I'm Mandingo, so it's even more powerful. It will throw you across the sea. All right. It will throw you across the sea. All right. So I don't get into that business in inquiring about booking the penis and all that. But that's what you guys can do. That if you want to interview his penis, I can get his book out on the phone for you. All right. So
we might have to interview Mandingo these days too.
No. That one you can't do that. That's only If you have girlfriends and they can be the interviewers for the day, we can do it. All right? That's how you guys go. Bring your girlfriends. They will cover for you the next time. And then we do that interview with the Mandingo dick.
No,
Excuse
please.
my language.
No.
It's okay.
You leave the Mandingo home, please. I don't need. You fuck that shit up. It'll be like
You guys
throwing.
are disgusting, my friends. Wow.
It'll be like
The
throwing.
embassy forever.
It'll be like throwing a hot dog down the Lincoln Tunnel after you get through with it.
You know, I try to be nice, you know, with all of my, my transitional, whenever I'm trying to, but I won't ever like disrespect people and scare them like the way that, Joey Ryan does. All right. I'm very respectful with it. All right.
Look, a man in power needs to be respectful of the people he has below him. So you respect Joey's
I'm
power.
telling you, it would throw somebody over it would throw them over the ocean. All right. So don't go there.
Which ocean?
The Indian.
Holy shit!
All right.
Did you
All
know?
right.
Did you know when Joey was in the embassy how powerful it was going to be? Was it like a Star Wars thing? Did you see the dark side? Did you sense that Joey's package was dangerous?
I sensed that there was a danger, but that's why I just kept at bay. If you look at some of the videos, I would stay at bay doing my little dance, and then he would go on. But you see, I think after he left the embassy, all right, he got a little bit, I don't know what happened. I think it went to his head, and then he just boom. It just started coming out, and then he went to Japan and flipped someone on the head inside the ring. But if it came to me doing that over the Indian Ocean, they would go. So I try to just keep it calm, and I don't, get into the same thing that Joey Ryan gets into. I love him. He's a great member of the embassy, all right? But no, I cannot inquire about booking his penis, all right, guys? I'm sorry.
Prince Nana, we love you. If you want to follow Prince
I
Nana,
love you guys.
at Prince King Nana on Twitter, on Instagram. You search Prince Nana on the Facebook. Maybe he'll let you be your friend. He's got a show on YouTube, The Prince Nana Show. New episode drops tomorrow with Avery Mason, a.k.a. BG from Power, the 50 Cent vehicle on the Stars Network. And he's just doing great things. He's got a book about the embassy coming out, hopefully in December. GoFundMe.com. Just search Embassy Forever. Anything you can give to Prince Nana, he'd appreciate it. $1, $2, $10, $5, $100, whatever you can afford. Or 1,000. And if you give him 1,000, he'll dick flip you over the Indian Ocean.
Over the Indian Ocean you go, my friends, all right? Be well, all right? Wash your hands, and you know what I'm going to tell all of you guys to do, all right? And that's brush your stinking mouths, all right?
Amazing.
Prince
This
Nana,
was awesome.
it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Nana.
He hung up on us. He's gone.
He hung up. He's out.
Good.
He gone.
He's a prince.